Boys and girls, cats and squirrels, welcome back to Tuesday Touchdown Talks, and without further ado, we're just going to get straight into it to talk about the NFL and what happened this week. So, what happened? Thursday night, we had the... I'm so caught up in just a ton of, other games. We had the Vikings and the Eagles, and... the Eagles kind of blew them out the water, in my opinion. They did what they needed to. They won their game, and I thought that they took care of business. And they didn't look great, but they looked good enough. And so that's all you can really ask from, a team. You win, and don't got to be impressive. You just got to win. So, the Chiefs didn't look impressive in the Super Bowl last year, or their receiving core didn't necessarily look impressive, but they got it done and they won, so who cares? That's all you're gonna look back at. So it all is objective, or it's all subjective, really, up to what each person thinks on who is good and who isn't and all that. But anyways, to stop ranting, that game, fun game to watch, but a little boring at times, seeing as it was kind of just another comeback story type game for the Vikings that we've seen 1,000,001,000 times, and this time they didn't win, which is good for me, because now they're 0-2, which leads me to my next point. Since I'm a Packers fan, I'm going to talk about the Packers game. The Packers lost 24-25 to the Falcons, of all people. Now you may be thinking, well, that's terrible for them, right? They collapsed. They, had a 12, 13 point lead in the fourth quarter, and they choked it away. While you aren't wrong that the Packers choked away the game, you got to remember they're the second youngest team in the league, and Jordan Love was in his third all-time start as a quarterback in the NFL. And although the expectations are that he can win us games, you also got to remember he probably isn't going to be freaking Aaron Rodgers off the bat. So I'm happy with what we did. We should have done better, but we had a ton of, injuries. So maybe we're becoming the next Baltimore Ravens, though, to be fair. So you just got to be prepared. Got to make it through the end of a game. Can't joke like that. It's just doesn't look good. We'll keep it in the division in the NFC North. We had the Lions and the, Seahawks. Another banger of a game. Went to overtime. And the Seahawks sneaked it out, which is good for the Packers, seeing as it was, an NFC game. And the Seahawks beat the Lions to tie them for the, division, the top of the division with us, which is good. We're tied at 1-1, and the Vikings are 0-2. The Lions, they got back on track compared to their week one kind of slow start, and their offense did good, their defense did not, and that's kind of what we anticipated more than anything, which is why week one was kind of a surprise when they beat out the Chiefs. But if they can keep doing what they're doing, scoring that many points, 31 or whatever it was, you're going to be a hard team to beat. If teams have to consistently put up, 30 points, it's hard, man. Hard to win in the NFL if you're forcing people to play like that. And then the Seahawks, Geno Smith and Tyler Lockett, great combination. DK didn't do great, but JSN did pretty good, and all in all, they just got back on track, what people anticipated to start the season or expected they could do if Geno wasn't a fraud. And it looks like he may not, in fact, be a one-year fraud, so that's good. I'll finish off the NFC North here by saying the Chicago Bears are so bad, man. Oh my god. It's not even funny. DJ Moore is their only hope to do anything offensively through the air, and I don't think he can help them. Or enough, at least, if he can. Truly, there's just nothing he can, do to, help them win. The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield looked good against them. So, To be fair, he did against the frauds of Vikings, but you know, I kind of anticipated the Vikings being bad this year, just not as bad as they've been. Although you could argue they've put up a lot of points, tied, you know, Jordan Love and Kirk Cousins are tied for the most touchdowns in the league right now with 6 apiece. And Jordan Love, I believe, has the highest passer rating in the league, which is an interesting stat. Has very low amounts of yards, but I mean, he's being stable at the QB position, which is cool. Now we'll talk about the Ravens, who I'm playing right now in Retro Bowl. As you can see, Baltimore Ravens against the what happened there? The Cincinnati Bengals. And all you fantasy managers are seething right now, thinking Joe Burrow was going to be good this year because now he has a calf injury that he re-aggravated. And seeing as Aaron Rodgers just tore his Achilles after a calf injury, it's very much so speculation, but many people assume that he's not going to be in for a little while until that calf has healed all the way back up to full health. Because, I mean, the Bengals need him in the long term, and, you know, this season they might have to just choke and see what they can get in the draft, I guess. But Ravens, Lamar, he played like he was supposed to, got, you know, the passing game going with Zay Flowers and kind of just kept it rolling, got their second straight win in the season, and, you know, that's kind of all you need to do in order to succeed. You gotta win games, so if that's what you do, that's good enough, in my opinion. The Titans and the Chargers was another really sick overtime game that the Chargers ended up losing, which is kind of insane to me because they're 0-2 now, and it, you know, people say it's the coaching, but I'd just say it's the defense as a whole. They're just always underperforming. They're chargering, you know, that's just kind of what they do. But I mean, the Titans squeaked out a win against the Chargers, which I don't think many people would have thought they could do after week 1 not putting up at that many points, but they did it. Derrick Henry came in clutch for, you know, their team and fantasy managers. Not really. He did not do great in fantasy, I'm not gonna lie. I had him on one of my teams. I will be going 2-2 this week compared to last week's 4-0. Unfortunate. My record on the year is 6-2, but I almost scored 200 points in one of my leagues, so that's cool. Yeah. Just now, the 2 games tonight were the Saints Panthers and the it was the Browns and the Steelers. The Browns, people hyped them up way too much after week 1, not gonna lie, because they did not live up to the expectations in the slightest, like, at all. Like, Deshaun Watson is a fraud, man. He needs to work a lot harder and get a lot better and just a lot more into football. Because he just seemed pissed all the time at just not being able to make anything happen like he used to. Which, I mean, I can understand because he's a quarterback, but, like, he needs to just lock in and get it done. I don't care. Just do it. And then, other than that, I guess, the Bryce Young didn't look horrible. And, Derek Carr did his job, I guess. So, he won the game. That's all you can really ask for. How long have we been going here? Let me quick. I talked about Bears, Bucks, Colts, Texans. Anthony Richardson got hurt. Colts squeaked out a win. CJ Stroud needs help. That's about it. Commanders, Broncos. Broncos got scammed out of a win they should have had, but, you know, or they could have had if they were able to go into overtime, but no PI, no touchdown for the 2-pointer conversion, and you might as well just call your season over. I talked about Chargers, Titans, 49ers, Rams. The Rams look better than anyone could have anticipated, and the 49ers, they're just taking care of business. Brock Purdy he's doing his job. He's not as good as, some people think he is. He gets a little overhyped, but he's, a solid QB, doesn't make mistakes, and gets it done. Bills, Raiders. Right away, the Raiders got up to like a 10-0 start or something like that, and didn't score another point after the first quarter. Or the second quarter, but whatever. It was 10-7. But Jimmy G could not come through, and they lost. Cowboys, Jets. Looks like the Jets might have a chance for a second there to come back after they scored 10 points in the first half, and then the Cowboys ended up outscoring their opponents 70-10 in their first 6 or 8 quarters of football, which is absurd. Chiefs, Jags. The Chiefs receivers need to mature and develop as a whole, and Travis Kelce needs to he needs to get a little bit more into the swing of things, because that was kind of his week 1 game. So I think next week he'll be better, and Mahomes will throw a couple more touchdowns than he did this week, and Trevor Lawrence will also have a bounce back week, I'm sure. So expect those guys to not put up the numbers they did this week again. Just disappointing, but sure, it happens. Dolphins, Patriots. We had one of the greatest plays of all time, the incredible Cole Strange, number 69 for the Patriots, almost getting a first down, and you could have argued that he got the first down. I mean, it really just depends on the angle you're looking at it, and it just ends the game on another sad note for the Patriots. 1-score games for them. They're sucking in right now. At the end of the game, can't quite pull through. They're getting them game-winning drives put together, and just at the last second, it falls apart. It's unfortunate for them. The one highlight of the Steelers-Browns game, like I said, other than Deshaun Watson needing to get better and the Browns are not for real, it was a fumble or a catch by a Steelers receiver. I don't remember his name. And then he got rocked by, I think it might have been Denzel Ward or Grant Delpit, one of the two. Someone in the Browns secondary fumbles the ball, and then I think Grant Delpit might have recovered it, and then he fumbles it, and then it just gets tossed around like a freaking hot potato and out of bounds, and the Browns get the ball, and I don't think they even scored a touchdown off that, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, they're pretty mid. The Giants had a historic comeback. I saw some stats on it, and it was historic, I guess you could say, but realistically, the Cardinals are just historically bad, I think, and we will see that as we continue throughout the year. So sorry that I've left you guys staring at the end of this Retro Bowl screen for 10 minutes now, but I've got nothing to do other than talk about the football games. So I wanted to quick do that, finish it out, make sure I covered all my bases, and I will say for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and sub, as always. Don't forget to be a goat, and I'll see you in the next one, which will hopefully be another Hollow Knight episode as we continue to make our way through that game. Peace.